All right, have and have not fans. This is going to be an interesting video because if my sources are correct, the season finale, and I know in some videos I say mid-season finale, but can you really blame me because it is kind of confusing in terms of what season of the haves and the have-nots we are, because it comes back on in January, takes a break during middle of spring, comes back mid-summer, ends in the early stages of fall. So if I say mid-season when I mean to say season, just know that I'm talking about a finale. Let's just put it at that. So whether or not it's mid-season or seasonal finale, 'cause I saw a few comments in my other videos I posted recently, and some people are like, well, it's the mid-season finale, and other people are like, well, it's the season finale. So whatever the case may be, just know that finale is coming Tuesday. Now, this episode, I believe, is called The Veronica Show. So this show's, this episode, if you will, or this video is going to be all about Veronica. And again, this was a two separate videos that I decided to put together. And it has to do with David's supposed plan for Veronica and Veronica versus Justin. And I mean, honestly, maybe Melissa might be thrown in here. You never know. But just focusing on the men right now, the ones, put it this way, the ones who verbally stated that they plan on doing something to Veronica. Remember the last episode, David said, well, told Jeffrey not to answer her phone calls, not to be around her, and he wasn't going to harm Veronica physically, harm her. Basically, he's trying to get Jeffrey out of his grip, Jeffrey out of Veronica's grip, and then he's going to enact his plan. I'm going to be honest, I really don't know what he has planned because we haven't really seen David make any moves or, make any phone calls on screen in regards to his plan for Veronica. I mean, the only thing we know is that he's adamant about not really talking with her or even, having sex, as he told Jim. But for the sake of getting together for the whole Jennifer Salinson situation, they do need to put their differences as well as their animosities towards each other aside for the greater good, so to speak, which is their pretty much their well-being. Now, when it comes to David, again, he honestly even sounds confident about going to divorce court with Veronica. And again, this is a tenacity we really haven't seen in David at all in regards to how he interacts with Veronica. So, I mean, given the fact that we know Veronica is one hell of a lawyer, she has all these quote unquote puzzle pieces scattered around the world with, these different agents of hers, so to speak. And she has all this dirt on David. Honestly, again, I really wish I knew what David was planning, because again, for him to be so confident, that just lets me know. Guys, I know I said this time and time again, but could it be that David's planning on bringing Veronica's mom to the series? Remember back in season 2, there were several mentions of Veronica's mother. David's made a few phone calls to her. It was around the time that, he told her that he was having, marital issues with Veronica. I don't know if it has to do with the whole, if he brought up the whole Jeffrey being gay, but given the fact that almost everybody knew, even Jim told David, like, hey, everybody knows that he's gay, except Veronica wouldn't admit it. And, David was kind of skeptical. So well, then again, it begs the question, if, he is bringing her mother to the show, what would that have to do with, Veronica's claws around Jeffrey? I don't know, but that's the only thing that I can think of in regards to what David might be planning. I know it doesn't have anything to do with the car flipping in the, preview for the season finale, because he said he wasn't going to harm her, which leads to my next suspect, Justin, who seems pretty clear he has no reservations about going after Veronica. I mean, the only thing, and again, I say that it's the only thing, but it's a big thing she has on him is the video of him, not being dressed in Jeffrey's room, has his badge number and everything. And he doesn't think that she's going to use that against him by showing his wife. And Jeffrey knows firsthand what she's capable of. Like, having Quincy being, beating him up, and then the whole Melissa situation, the blackmail with the black sedan. So he knows what Veronica is capable of. So he's really, telling Justin, like, hey, you better not underestimate her, because it's getting real. Like, it's getting real. There's no telling what she's going to do. So I will say that when it comes down to Justin, he's tried a few times, manhandle Veronica, even in the preview, grabbing her arm. It's like, ooh, you're strong, girl. No matter what kind of situation she's in, except for Catherine, Veronica is not one of men's words. Like she'll insult you with a smile on her face, and it's just. I mean, we've seen it with Landon, Justin, and Candace, so it makes no difference that it's Justin here. But some people have been speculating that hey, maybe Justin does something to her car after she reveals the truth about him being gay to his wife. Because remember, they're in a courtroom. And she looks to the back, sound like there's another witness or something like that. So I don't know if she's referring to Jeffrey, but man, oh man, oh man. I think that maybe she's saying like there's another witness looking behind her, seeing Jeffrey there with Justin right behind him, and it's pretty much a signal like, hey Jeffrey, you better come down here and talk, or I'm going to bust your friend for being gay or something like that. And again, people have been saying it is Veronica in that vehicle. If something physically happened to Veronica, the first suspect in my mind would be Justin, because he's pretty much made it clear that he's willing to. Remember, Justin is kind of like Jeffrey in regards to he'll do stuff physically, and I don't mean sexual. I mean like, bodily harm to somebody if he feels he's being pushed into a corner. Remember where, Jeffrey was adamant about not, hiding the fact that he was gay from everybody, including his parents. When in the season finale, well, actually, if I'm not mistaken, it was the episode before the season finale, season 1, where Wyatt took his car keys. He was about to go tell his parents about tell Jeffrey's parents about what happened. Him saying he's gay. He busted him upside the head with a golf club. Then, of course, when he got pushed to the corner by Quincy. Saying like, hey, we're going to go to this hotel you told me about. If Candace isn't there, I'm going to come back here and cut your heart out. He busts Quincy upside the head with the wine bottle. And of course, after Wyatt was quote unquote dead, Jeffrey and Veronica went over to the Crier house, and Veronica just was laying it in on Jeffrey. And then he got so fed up that he stabbed her. And then Justin is kind of like in a situation where, he pretty much attacked Jeffrey because he pretty much flies into a rage more than Jeffrey does. So pretty much you could say that. And again, this is a bit of a stretch, but Jeffrey is more emotionally stable than Justin. And that's not to say he's perfect. And trust me, that goes along with what I'm saying in regards to his actions now his action in the past with other characters who's pushed. Jeffrey's like, if you push him into a corner, that's when he's going to fight back. When it comes to Justin, he's pretty much, if he suspects like, wait, you're seeing somebody else? I thought we were together or something. Or, hey, you're going to do something I don't like. He's going to attack, pretty much like a rabid pit bull. So I'll say this much. When it comes down to it, Veronica, personally speaking, I don't think she's going to die in the next episode, in my opinion. Just because even though a lot of people would like to see her, get her just dues or get killed off, I feel like there's so many unresolved storylines that Veronica is necessary. Believe it or not, I know some people are like, man, it's just the same thing over and over again. They're recycling plots. People are doing the same thing as the other seasons. While that may be true, I'll still say that Veronica is probably the most popular, one of the most, if not the most popular character on the show. And I don't think she's going to be killed off. I really don't think that's her in the car in the preview. If anything, Melissa might snap, but given the fact that she's, suicidal as it is, she might be in a situation where, hey, if I'm going down, you're going with me, so I want to kill Veronica. Or, because she even hinted once, Jeffrey is like, I only need enough money to, help my dad, so if you want to take care of her, because remember, he pretty much said like, I killed a guy, and referring to Quincy, which really he didn't. And then Melissa's thinking like, oh wow, if you killed him, it's like, well, you can kill her. And he's like, I'm not going to hurt my mother. So we know Jeff, and that was that before or after he stabbed her? I forgot. And it's like, well, if he stabbed Quincy that many times and then stabbed his mom, I mean, just like Melissa, I would think that, killing her wouldn't be a thing. But we know Jeffrey said he's not going to hurt her anymore, because David even said, stay away from her before you have another fit of rage and stab her again or worse. David said he's not going to do anything. So we can quote unquote assume that if it is Veronica in the car, that it had to be like Justin or Melissa or somebody else who did something to it. But honestly, it's as I said in my other video about who's in the car. I feel like Melissa is my prime suspect in regards to that vehicle, because again, this vehicle, to my knowledge, doesn't look like anything we've seen before. So it has to be, or most likely is owned by a character we've seen, but we haven't seen their ride. So I would think that it would be someone like a Melissa. We haven't seen Justin's quote unquote civilian vehicle, because honestly, what have we even ever seen Justin outside of his uniform aside from when he's laying in bed naked? So I mean, I don't think it's Justin. So hey, could Veronica, let's say that was Justin's personal ride outside of the police car. Maybe she fiddled with the, or had somebody fiddle with the, you know, wires and whatnot. It caused it to flip, you know, getting rid of Justin. That way, Jeffrey wouldn't have another boy toy. Next thing you know is she'll probably go after Landon again. But hey, I don't know. I'm just speculating here. So I just want to get your thoughts. Do you think Veronica is the one in the vehicle? What do you think David has planned for Veronica? What do you think Justin will do? And there's, again, do you think she's going to be killed off in the finale? There's just so many things to talk about, but honestly, I feel like we're in for one heck of a ride in the season finale, mid-season finale, season finale, whatever. So please subscribe, because I do have more videos on the way.